Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, January 28th. We're right in the middle of winter. PMS is kicking in, park motorcycle syndrome. And I find myself looking at motorcycles online, and wouldn't you know it, Harley Davidson and Indian both announced new models this week. And I want to kind of, I want to do sort of a minor, I'm not going to get into specs and stuff, but I want to do a little bit of a minor comparison between the Street Glide and the new Indian Chieftain, which is based on the new Power Plus motor. I watched a video last night from Bikes, Brews, and Baggers. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here. But anyways, I watched a video last night from Bikes, Brews, and Baggers, and man, oh man, we're from the same area. We're both from the Boston area. And that dude is one major Harley fanboy. He just loves to trash anything that's not Harley Davidson. And so he made some comments that just weren't accurate. And I want to get on here, and I'm not going to break down his video, but I want to get into why I think the Indian Chieftain is a way better value than the Harley Davidson Street Glide. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. Some people like Harley Davidson, some people like Indian, some people like both. I actually like both brands, but I prefer Indian because I think it's a better value for the money spent. And we all know that everything is way overpriced these days, whether it's groceries, automobiles, houses, and motorcycles. That just everything is overpriced. And I never thought that I would spend $30,000 on a motorcycle. I always thought $15,000 on a motorcycle was expensive, but until I purchased my last bike, which is a 22 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse, and I'm into it for over 30 grand. So I've had some issues with my Chieftain, and I've even posted a video a few months ago where I said Indian motorcycles sucked, and I was done with them, and I was going to go to Harley. But, in retrospect, even though I've had issues with my Indian, I would still buy another one over the Harley Davidson. And I'm gonna pull up my screen, and I've got two windows open on my screen. One's a Harley Davidson website, one's an Indian website. And we're gonna go through some of the things, some of the key differences between the Street Glide and the new Indian Chieftain Power Plus, and why I think, in my opinion, that the Indian Chieftain is a better value for the money. So let's get into it. We're on the Harley Davidson Street Glide page here, and as you can see, the base starting price for a Street Glide is $27,749. If you go to the 24 model, I believe it was a little cheaper, but let's take a look. Yeah, $25,999, so 26 grand for the 2024 model. But in 2025, the base price is $27,750 basically. And if you go to the Indian Chieftain, the base model starting price is $26,500. So that's about $1,250 difference from the base price of the Chieftain to the base price of the Street Glide. Now, going back and looking at Bikes, Brews, and Baggers video, I had to go back and look at it one more time to see what he was saying. And his comparison was a little unfair. He was saying you needed to spend $3,000 more on the Chieftain to get the same bike as the HD Street Glide. And that's actually not true. He was comparing the upgraded Chieftain with the 112 motor to the base model of the Harley Davidson Street Glide. So it wasn't an apples to apples comparison here. So to get yourself into a Chieftain is actually $1,250 cheaper than to get yourself into a Street Glide if you're looking at the very base models. Now, granted, who's going to buy the base model Chieftain when the 112 is available? I wouldn't. I would opt for the 112, of course. But so let's just look at the new Chieftain. That's really all I had to say about the Street Glide comparison. But some of the things that you get base model to base model, though, is you get just better thing. Like, you're not going to get inverted front forks on the base model of the Street Glide. I don't believe. Are those inverted? I can't tell. Maybe they are inverted. But the suspension is just better on the Chieftain. The audio system is better on the Chieftain. You get a power windshield on the Chieftain. And you just get so much more money, value for your money with the Chieftain. So the one thing I will give to Harley, though, in this comparison, is Harley does have better paint. It is what it is. There's no denying it. They have more color options. That billiard gray is kind of, in my opinion, is bootlicker ugly, but and you're stuck with that if you want to get in to the Street Glide at the base price. You have to buy that billiard gray. I don't like it. Even black is an upgrade. A $600 upgrade to get a black bike. You would think black would be standard. And then if you want the black trim, blacked out motor, it's another $1,350. So now you're in, now you're up at $29,000 plus for a black Street Glide with black trim, whereas you can get a blacked out Dark Horse, for $28,500. So yeah, you're still looking at, a $1,250 difference. You're just getting a Chieftain for better value. But let's look at some of the improvements on the Chieftain, because I have a 2022 Chieftain, and when I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted the Challenger or the Chieftain back in 2022, I struggled and struggled and struggled for months trying to make that decision. And the choice was that I liked the Power Plus motor better than the motor that's in my current Chieftain right now. Gosh, I'm having a brain freeze here. I can't think of the name of the motor on it at this moment, but the Power Stroke motor. I liked the Power Plus motor better than the Power Stroke motor. However, I did not like the fairing on the Challenger. Everything just seemed too far away to me, and I just felt more comfortable on the Chieftain. And so my decision was, I go with the better motor, or I go with the fairing and the comfort that I prefer. And I ultimately could not make up my mind, and it wasn't until I saw the color of the Icon back in 2022, which was the blue slate metallic, which pushed me over to the Chieftain and helped me make my decision, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful shade of blue. But now I see the Chieftain out with the Power Plus in the 112 and a whole lot of additional features that just have me wanting to upgrade already. And I haven't even had my first tire change on my Chieftain yet. It doesn't make sense to me to make this upgrade at this time, but financially. But boy, would I like to. I love the front wheel on the Chieftain and the Challenger so much more. I just love the wheel set better than the one that's on my current Chieftain. The bags are pretty much, the whole back end looks the same to me. The exhaust looks the same to me. The tank is a little different. I think I do like the tank better on my current Chieftain. It's more of a teardrop, more of a retro style. I do like this headdress better, which I guess I could change at some point. The fairing, let's see if I can find some photos of the new Power Plus. Here we go. The new fairing on the Power Plus, where is it? Let's get to it. There it is. That new fairing right there is kind of nice looking. It's a little bit more muscular looking. I do like that. The Brembo brakes, I should say. I don't know why I always say Brembo, but it's Brembo. The Brembo brakes on the new Chieftain, I'm assuming are better, but I don't have any complaints with the brakes on my current Chieftain either. So there's that. But technology wise though, it's got all these rider assist features. It's got
you know, uh, you know, tailgate warning and blind spot monitoring, and the linked braking looks really nice. I wish I had that on mine. I don't have the smart lean technology. So there are some safety features that come with this new bike that, you know, are they worth it? I don't know. I mean, if I, do I need blind spot monitoring? Probably not. I mean, we're on a motorcycle. You just turn your head and look, right? Uh, so, but it's, I suppose it's a nice feature to have. But the linked braking and the Brembo brakes look really nice. I also wish I had the inverted forks, which look great. And the option to add electronically adjustable suspension on the new Chieftain is a sweet option. Currently you have to take the side panel off, pull out a little air pump, and change the PSI on the shock every time you add a passenger or some luggage or whatever. That's kind of annoying, but it is what it is, right? So overall, like I said in the intro and in past videos, I've had some issues with my Chieftain, and though at the time, when you find an issue with your bike, you get pissed off and you get disappointed. But I do have to say that Indian has been very, very responsive, and they have resolved every problem that I've had, no questions asked. They replaced the front fender, the rear fender. They replaced one of the side covers that my dealer broke and then denied it. And they didn't have to do that. The dealer should have, but they replaced a primary cover that had a paint flaw. They fixed a kickstand that I'm not sure if it was a warranty issue. I don't think it was a defect from Indian. I towed my bike out to Sturgis last year, and when it got strapped down, I didn't realize the kickstand was down, and I think I may have bent it, but Indian replaced it under warranty, so that was good. So they've done a whole lot to keep me a happy customer, even though I had some disappointments with the bike. So, will I upgrade to the new Chieftain? Probably not right now. My last bike was water cooled. I had a Triumph Thunderbird, and a water cooled bike is amazing. It makes power so much differently. It just feels good, man. It feels strong. But will I upgrade? I'd love to, but financially it doesn't make any sense. I have a bike with only 6,600 miles on it, and it's in brand new condition. It's a beautiful bike, runs good. I think what I will do this year, though, is maybe get a Power Commander 4 and either get a fuel moto tune or dyno tune it, and kind of improve on the throttle response, because I do feel like the throttle response, and it's not an Indian thing. It's across the board. It's an EPA emissions thing where the throttle response on bikes just isn't what they used to be. And to meet EPA requirements, they have to mess with the fuel ratios and air ratios and stuff. And it just, it is what it is. One thing I do like that I forgot to mention is that now Harley, going back to the Harley thing, right? In the new 24 and 25 models, a lot of the parts from 23 and older models do not transfer over to the new models. Seats don't transfer over, windshields don't transfer over, exhausts don't transfer over. What Indian has done is they've redesigned a bike and made it so that a lot of the parts that are on my current bike will fit the new bike. So if I were, let's say hypothetically, if I were to upgrade to the new Chieftain, I could take the windshield off my bike, my upgraded windshield that I love, and I could move it over to this one. I have a tinted Freedom Shield windshield. I could move it over to the new bike and it will fit. I won't have to go spring for new passenger floorboards. I could take off the floorboards from my current bike and move them over to the old, to the new bike, and they will fit. So, this $600 saved. The sissy bar, I have the low profile and the taller sissy bar with luggage rack. They will both fit the newer model, so I wouldn't have to go invest in a new sissy bar for the new bike. I could just keep the ones that I have and transfer them over. The seat, I have a Mustang seat that I absolutely love. I could take that seat and I could move it over to the new bike, and I could just put all the stock parts back on the old bike when you trade it in, and keep all those parts and not have to reinvest in them. So, the exhaust, the slip-on exhaust that I have, will fit the new bike. I could take the slip-on exhaust, move it over to the new bike, put the old stock pipes back on before I trade it, and I would just be saving a ton of money on upgrades because I could move a lot of the things that I currently have on my bike over to the new one. Same thing with the headlight. I have the $650 adaptive Indian headlight. It will fit the new bike. I could just move it over. So, like I said, there's just so many things that I've already paid for that I wouldn't have to pay for again. I could just simply keep them and transfer them over to the new bike. So, I personally think Indian hit this one out of the park. I think the new Chieftain is, until I see it in person, I'll reserve final judgment. But in the photos and based on the specs and the videos that Indian put out, it looks like it's a real nice bike. It wouldn't surprise me if the new Chieftain becomes their top seller again over the Challenger. It's a beautiful looking bike in my opinion. I did want, I'm going to go to the parts section for a minute because for the longest time, I wanted the reduced reach handlebars on my bike, and I couldn't get them because all they had was this polished reduced reach bar available. They didn't have it in black for some reason, and I don't know why Indian does that. If you got a dark horse, and why would I want to put polished handlebars on a dark horse, But the new handlebars, reduced reach handlebars, it says they're only going to be $130. But the new reduced reach handlebars in black that are for the new bike, look, it says it fits my current 22 Chieftain. So that'll be nice. I'll be able to get those when they're released finally. I'll be able to get the reduced reach bars that I wanted on my bike. So, anyways, those are my thoughts. Like I said, I didn't want to do, a spec comparison because there's tons of other videos already out there for this, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on the new Indian Chieftain mostly, but I wanted to address the one thing about entry-level pricing that I believe Bikes, Brews, and Beards got wrong. So, anyways, let's wrap this video up.
All right, so there you have it. Look, I even wore my Indian shirt for this video. I never dress up for my videos, but I put on an Indian shirt just for this, just for you. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the Indian. I would love, love, love to trade my 22 Chieftain in for the new Chieftain, just for some of the new upgrades, the inverted forks, the electronically adjustable suspension. That's one of the big ones I wish I had. That Power Plus 112 motor. It's a nice power plant, but so is the Thunderstroke motor there. A nice motor too. So, apples in one hand, oranges in the other, right? I just can't justify the loss that I would take on my bike if I were to trade it in. I would probably take a $10,000 hit, and the bike's only, a couple of years old and less than 7,000 miles on it. I just can't take a $10,000 depreciation hit to trade it in at this time. But so what I plan to do is fight off the urge to trade, enjoy my 22 Indian Chieftain Icon Dark Horse, do some small upgrades. I probably won't put too much more money into it because at some point it'll be hard to fight off the urge, but and I don't want to waste any more money, but I do want to do a nice tune on it. And yeah, man, Harley Davidson, I rode the Street Glide last year. I didn't like it personally. It felt top heavy to me. It didn't feel as well balanced to me as the Indian. Rider preference, I guess. It's just, I guess it's what I'm used to, but I've never really thought that Harley Davidson motorcycles rode very well anyways. The last Harley Davidson I owned was a Sportster. I hated it. Hated it. I don't know why people think a Sportster is a good entry-level bike. It's a terrible, terrible motorcycle. You know, it's good for modding out and doing stunts and stuff if you're into that, but there are tons of aftermarket parts, and you can do a lot of things with a Sportster, but it is a horrible, horrible machine to start out on. It's horribly balanced. It's tippy. It's just not a comfortable bike. And it blows my mind. It's that people buy a Sportster to start out. Anyway, enough about bashing the Harley. If you have a Harley, you know, drop a comment down below. Tell me why you bought it. I know there are people that are hardcore Indian, hardcore Harley. I could care less. I like my Indian. I loved my Triumph that I had before it. Unfortunately, it got stolen. But, you know, if I were in the market to buy today, which I'm not, I promise I'm going to resist. If I were in the market to buy today and my options were between the Street Glide and the Indian Chieftain, I would still buy the Indian Chieftain. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and do all those cool things that you YouTube people do. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.